Well, Donald Trump discovered today that his job does not come with the same privileges that come with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's job. Donald Trump doesn't have floor privileges. The President of the United States does not have the same floor privileges that a member of Congress has. A member of the House of Representatives can enter the House chamber at any time, and a member of the House of Representatives can also enter the Senate chamber at any time. Donald Trump cannot. The President of the United States needs an invitation. And today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told the President, because of the government shutdown that he created, she cannot extend an invitation to him to deliver his State of the Union address in the House of Representatives to a joint session of Congress. And Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez put the blame for the shutdown right where it belongs as of now, and that is in the United States Senate. And she did that by exercising her floor privileges and walking right into the United States Senate chamber to deliver a letter to Mitch McConnell telling him to bring the government funding bills that have already passed the House of Representatives to a vote in the United States Senate, where those bills would pass if Mitch McConnell would simply allow a vote. Now, House members entering the Senate chamber is a rare occurrence. Most people working in the Senate never see it happen. Most staff members never see that happen. House members entering the Senate chamber in protest, well, that's even more rare. And the way the country discovered that that was possible, that House members have the Senate floor privileges to do that, was when the then very few women members of the House of Representatives marched across the Capitol campus and invaded the floor of the United States Senate to demand that the Senate Judiciary Committee reopen the confirmation hearing of Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas so that they could hear testimony from Anita Hill about what she said was the sexual harassment she suffered from Clarence Thomas. And I was working in the Senate then at the time, and I can tell you that that hearing was not going to be reopened. That was not going to happen if the women of the House didn't do what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez decided to do today. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is the second most famous member of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi being the most famous member. Now, we have not seen such a famous freshman member of the House since John Quincy Adams was elected to the House of Representatives after serving as our 6th president of the United States. And in modern politics, in social media politics, with fame comes power, the power to direct media attention where you want it, the power to push a policy position into the national political debate. And Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez did that today more effectively than any other member of the House of Representatives could have done it because of that fame. And there is apparently no one in the House of Representatives who understands fame and knows how to use fame better than Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, who does not need a staff to explain Instagram to her or any other social media or mass communication tool, including how she should handle herself on Stephen Colbert's show. She went to the Senate chamber looking for Mitch McConnell after she checked the majority leader's office adjacent to the Senate floor, and she was told he wasn't there, but it's a large office suite with plenty of places to hide. But what are you going to do? The staff says majority leader isn't there. Every leader also has a separate Senate office that is granted to him as a regular member of the Senate representing his state. And so Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez took the Senate subway over to the Russell Senate office building where McConnell's Kentucky Senate office is, a place where he rarely sets foot. Here she is on the Senate subway on the way to that office. Hashtag where's Mitch?
Okay, guys, we went to Mitch McConnell's office, where we went to the Senate cloakroom. Hashtag where's Mitch?
Here is the Congresswoman at the end of her search in the Russell Senate office building.
He's not in the cloakroom, he's not in the Capitol, he's not in the Russell building, he's not in the floor of the Senate, and 800,000 people don't have their paychecks. So where's Mitch?
Where's Mitch? He wasn't on the Senate floor, he wasn't in the cloakroom, he wasn't in any of his offices. There's one more place that Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez could have gone, but it wouldn't be easy to find. There's no marking on the door. It is Mitch McConnell's hideaway. That is literally what it's called, a hideaway. Senior senators like McConnell get an extra office, some of them smaller than their official office, some of them quite grand, and they are secret rooms in the Capitol building near the Senate floor with no markings on the door, and it is the one place where a senator can go and literally hide away. Today, Mitch McConnell might have actually been using his hideaway as the place to literally hide away from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The place to hide away from the inescapable fact that this shutdown now belongs to Mitch McConnell. Donald Trump started it, and Mitch McConnell is doing everything he can to keep it going for Donald Trump. He is not using the powers of his office the way Nancy Pelosi is to solve the problem that Donald Trump handed to them. He is using the powers of his office to solution to the shutdown. And so the shutdown continues. And because a State of the Union address takes enormous planning by the Speaker of the House and by the House Sergeant at Arms and by the Capitol Police and hundreds of government workers who have to coordinate to provide security and logistics for a 21st century State of the Union address, many of whom are not currently being paid, those workers, Nancy Pelosi has decided she cannot demand that the federal workforce necessary to support a televised State of the Union address from the House of Representatives be ordered to work without pay. And so, Speaker Pelosi sent a letter to the president today saying, quote, given the security concerns, and unless government reopens this week, I suggest that we work together to determine another suitable date after government has reopened for this address, for you to consider delivering your State of the Union address in writing to Congress on January 29th. Now, actually, most State of the Union addresses delivered by most presidents have been delivered in writing only. But that changed in the 20th century when Woodrow Wilson delivered his State of the Union addresses in person as a speech to a joint session of Congress, and every president after him has done the same thing. Those speeches became ultimately delivered to national audiences on radio and then on television, and then Donald Trump shut down the government and may have pushed the presidential State of the Union address back into the 19th century. In comments to reporters today, Nancy Pelosi suggested the president had another option if he doesn't want to just deliver his State of the Union address in writing.
You can make it from the Oval Office if you want.
And Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer supports Speaker Pelosi's decision.
Well, what is the State of the Union? The government is closed because of President Trump. If it continues to be closed on the 29th, I think it's a good idea to delay it till the government is open.